All right, so today we're going to start a program called Apex, and Apex is going to give you a little bit more of an individual plan on how to help you kind of hone some of your skills that you have for English 1 or some skills that you might need. And so for today, the big goal is to get you signed up and to try out one of the lessons. And then after we do a trial lesson, which I will take a grade on, just want to make sure you know, we'll take a grade on even the trial lesson, then I will use the district exam in order to fine-tune your individual learning so that it's not everybody's doing the same thing. You'll each have your own little plan. So anyway, Apex is the program. And so when you get out the Chromebook, you're going to go to this website. It's www.apexvs.com. So just apexvs.com. And you should get to a page that looks similar to this. And what you need to do is you need to write or type in the letter K and then your ID number. And then in the box below it, for the first time you would log in, it's going to be Keller@123. And that will be your password the first time you log in. So try that out. If you're struggling with it, it's not working, every one of my students is already entered into the program because we took care of that. Check out the capitalization about, maybe you have to lowercase it instead of uppercase. So it's just K and then your ID number, and then the first time you log in, your password will be Keller@123. And then you'll get a page that looks like this. Go ahead and change your password. Your new password, then confirm it and make sure that you've got all of these password requirements, and I'm sure you've done that 100 times. And then make sure that you click I have read and accepted the student code of conduct. You might want to read it, just saying. Anyway, so go ahead and click this button right here. And then you'll do this page so that you have your security questions, and that's your call, however you want to take care of those. Just make sure it's something that you can actually remember. And then it should lead you to a page that looks like this. And this is kind of where I want to go through. So I'm just going to use a student sample. But when you walked in the door, you would have gotten something, from me anyway, that looks like this. It's a 3-page handout. Okay, and so we'll get a little bit closer on that. This has basically the outline of the entire course. So you can see like Unit 1 is going to be elements of literature, and it's got some stuff underneath it. Unit 2 is reading strategies, stuff underneath, and so on and so forth. And as I look through your district exams, I'll be able to fine-tune this a little bit, and so that we can kind of focus in on the areas where each one of you needs your own area. But for today, and for our first lesson, the first grade of the Apex, I'm going to ask that you all do number 17. And when you walked in the door, you should have it highlighted already. We'll just thank my daughter for doing that. But anyway, she did it for a little bit of extra allowance. So we're all going to do number 17. And so you'll notice that Unit 17 has 4 different areas that you're going to have to cover. And you also notice that there's some boxes over here. Now, pay attention to those, and then if you look at the top of this form, it will tell you, what they each stand for. Okay, so let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more. So it's learn it, try it, review it, test it. So learn it, try it, review it, test it. Just so you know, the only thing you are absolutely required to do is the pretest and the test. Now, if you've got 3 boxes underneath it, hopefully that will let you know that you have 3 attempts to take the test and get whatever grade that you want on it. I mean, so if you get a 40 on the first time, you can retake it to get, hopefully a higher grade. And you can do it to get 100, but you only get 3 chances. My suggestion to you is, do the learn it, do the try it, and then do the review it before you get to the test. Okay? Or, you might find that you think it's really easy and you just want to go right to the test. And that's okay. You can go ahead and do so. And then maybe you don't do so hot on it, so then you go back to do the learn it and the try it and the review it. You'll figure out your own system, but we can talk as we go along. But you'll notice that you have to do formal and informal language, using the dictionary and thesaurus, spelling rules, and word relationships, which seem, pretty logical, pretty, standard for English. The first thing that you're going to have to do is the pretest, which is, this button right here, or this little mark here. And that's a non-negotiable. Every student's going to have to do the pretest. My advice to you is to do very well on the pretest, because if you do well on it, then you don't have to, it'll test you out of these things. So maybe you'll do really well on formal and informal language, but you miss a couple in the second one. Well, you get to skip formal and informal language. And I see it on my end, so you could just skip that one altogether. But let me show you so it makes a little bit more sense. So if I go back here, okay, so now this is a student that I asked if I could use his account. And so you go to this area. Once you figure out all of your passwords and such, you click here, and it will lead you to this page. And it might take a minute to load because there's a lot of information. Okay, and so if you go back to this page that we talked about, you are to do number 17. Okay, easy enough. Go back over here, and you can kind of see, hey, there are all my different units. Scroll on down, and there is number 17. Now, each one of these dots indicates these. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you go out of the program and then you go back in, like maybe you do a couple, you'll see that maybe these are marked off because you had done them and then you had to go back or whatever. So that's all those dots mean. So you click on usage because that's your first assignment, and it will lead you to a pretest. Now, if you notice, you can't skip the pretest for my class because you're going to just have to go through it. And I'm just going to click on buttons just so that you can see it. So I'm not even really going to read them. You take your time with them, because the more time you take on the pretest, the less time you have to do on the other side. So don't blow it off. And now notice here, it says, once you start the new test, you must finish it before you can move on. Your scores are recorded. All right, so let's do this. All right, and again, I'm just going to click just to kind of show you what would happen. And there are 10 questions. And again, you take more time with this, of course, but I just want to show you the next step. You can kind of get an idea of what the questions look like too. And you are absolutely welcome to use a thesaurus or a dictionary or your resources. It doesn't bother me at all. And so this one should be a pretty decent introduction to Apex. And you're welcome to open up new tabs to help you out as far as looking up definitions. Again, it doesn't bother me at all. I'm more interested in you guys understanding the material than policing you and what sort of resources you use. As long as you don't cheat. Okay, so you can see I didn't do so hot on the pretest. So these are the scores that I got. So obviously I didn't do so well, so I hit continue. And now the program is going to make me do all of these. So I didn't test out of any of them. So I'm going to have to do them. And so you click on this. So I'm just going to start from the top because I did junky. And now this is the page I wanted you to see. Remember on this one, I told you if you look at the very top, let's see if I can blow that up a little bit more. It says learn it, try it, review it, test it. Learn it, try it, review it, test it. And then you go back over here and you got learn it, try it, review it, test it. You can do it however you want to. And this is where you've got some freedom. The test it part is where you're actually going to be showing what you've learned. Okay, so if you blew off the pretest, you're like, whatever, I totally understand formal and informal language. I'm just going to jump to the test. Hey, you have that freedom. You get 3 tries. I just suggest that something that you think about is like if you try that and it doesn't work out for you, go back and just do the try it. Just so that you can kind of get a feel for it. And if you're still not really sure, then do learn it. I mean, obviously they want you to learn it first, because that's what the lesson is. So, check it out, try it, and, then maybe take the test. Or maybe just go right to review it. You can play around on this to see what works. This is going to be a video. And they're not bad. They really aren't. So again, you can do it however you want to. You get 3 tries to do the test it. And so if you click here, you'll see, there we go. You got 5 questions, and it'll ask you. Okay, so make sure that you're doing what you want to do. But you can always come back here and can check them out. So if we go back to this, all right, so we talked about going to usage, because that's going to be your first one, and doing your pretest. Again, tips: do well in the pretest. It'll save you time more time later. I would highly recommend you do learn it, try it, review it, do it however you want to do it. End result is I need to see your best score on the test it. And again, you get 3 tries. Okay, so the assignment is for you to do all of Unit 17. And again, 3 times to get your 100 on the test. And then, that's for the next thing. And then we're going to have this due next week. So watch for the due dates on the calendar. But I just want to give you an overview of this. And if you have any questions, you let me know. But I have a feeling that you're going to be fine. Once I get this finished, I'm going to ask that you turn in this page right here. Turn this in, and then I will go ahead and I'll go through your district exam, and I will highlight how, like my daughter did for you guys, I will highlight the next section that I'm going to need you to do. Okay, so just kind of listen for that and those instructions, and then we'll take care of you. All right, thanks everybody, and good luck on Apex.